Hello, it's Steve with Desert Dwellers, and today we're going to be looking at a little bit more at the ATN X-Sight II high definition day-night scope. So let's start with a couple of the accessories. Now, this is the battery pack, of course. I did a little review on it last week. No real problems with it. Charges up good now that I know what I'm doing. When it is hooked up to the scope, and you have the scope turned off for several minutes, I'm not sure how long it is, but the battery turns itself off. So what you need to do is just turn the little button back here, the power button on, the scope will come right back on, so not a problem. Alright. Also, this is the infrared illuminator that came with the scope, the ATN, and it's not a bad one. It works pretty good. We were out last week, a few days ago, and it reaches out probably about 100 yards. We're on some flat terrain, so the bushes up front, we're getting most of the light, so it's like really bright, then it dims off pretty fast because again the sagebrush, but it's pretty good. But I did, because I do want to be able to reach out farther, about the Evolva Future Technologies T67 infrared illuminator. Now this is big, it's all metal, well built, aluminum, uses both the 26650 batteries, or it also comes with these sleeves that the kit I bought came in with the 18650 batteries, plus a charger. So that's why I got in it now, but I'll get the bigger batteries later. But it also has a focusing head on it, and you just spin the head all the way out like that to tighten the beam up. And if you want to spread it out all the way back, moves about 1.5 inches. Travel, rough guess. Has a nice convex lens in there. You can't really see it, but it really helps focusing apparently. I have other flashlights with that kind of lens. It works great. We're going to be giving this a try out in the desert here in a few days at night, elevated position, so we can get some distance out there and see just how far it will go. It's supposed to reach out to like 300 yards. We're going to give that a try because I got a good spot set up. Alright, now one of the things I do notice about this one, the visible red light, which you can kind of see in there a little bit. Most infrared lights, of course, bleed off some visible red light if you're looking directly at it. And you can see the other one gives off, actually seems like a lot more light than the big one. And other reviewers had mentioned that on this one. So I'm kind of curious about how it's going to look at night when I'm looking at it from a distance and see how it works. But so far I really like it. Picked it up in Amazon for like $70 for the little kit. It does need 30mm rings here. I don't have that yet. They're coming in tomorrow, and then we're going to get it mounted up and running. Okay, a little bit more. Now for the scope. Now one thing I found is I was out at the range last week. The number of profiles, rifle profiles that you can set up in it seems to be 6. I hit 6, won't let me put no more in. So it looks like I'm set at 6. I got 5 rifles, but that's okay. One rifle is it's a 22 with a suppressor, so I'm using 22 subsonics and 22 high velocity in it because it has a really good trigger pull. So I'm setting that one up for both profiles, or on 2 different profiles, because the bullet's going to hit differently at 100 yards. That's one thing. The next thing I discovered is I've used this scope at night a few times. There's other videos of the rabbit hunts and stuff, and if you notice, I was having trouble with the focusing, and that's called depth of field. When the aperture is wide open, trying to let a lot of light in, which we're doing at night with the rabbit hunting, your depth of field shrinks. And the depth of field is when it's focused to a certain point, the nearest part that's in focus to the farthest away that it's in focus is what's known as depth of field. Okay. So when you close your aperture up, and the aperture is what lets light in and out, and as you can see here, which come with the ATN, it has a pretty good little aperture covering thing that you use during the daytime. So you just attach it to the sunshade, screws into the front of the scope. So it cuts down on the light that you have during the daytime, because the scope is very light sensitive. It's awesome in the nighttime. So it cuts down. Now I'm sure there's another aperture somewhere inside of here also that is helping. So, but you got all that bright daylight, those apertures can be down, and your depth of field just really widens up. And I'm going to show you a couple still shots on that here a little bit later in the video, and I'll show you what I'm talking about a little bit more. But yeah, during the day, your depth of field is really awesome on this thing. When it cools off here in a few more weeks, month, here in Nevada, we're going to be going out walking around with this scope on our .22 rifle, looking for rabbits out in the brush to get some good video. And I don't think I'm going to have nowhere near the problems with the focusing as I did with the night hunts, because like I said, your depth of field is so much greater. I think I just set it for like 50 yards, and that should cover me with all the distances that I'm shooting for rabbit. Alright, so we're going to go to the video here. Little clip. I got the rifle set it at 100 yards, but we're shooting at a rock that's at a 200-yard berm. The rock is about 3 inches in diameter. You can see the target box next to it, so you can get an idea how big the rock is. Now it took me a few shots to get onto this rock, get my elevation set right, but on this shot, which was about 3 shots in, you see I hit the rock and knock it back a little bit. Now we're moving out of, it's a paint can a little past 300 yards, and again it took me a couple shots to get my elevation going. We do got a crosswind coming in, so you saw I hit to the left, so I'm moving just the rifle to the right. I don't want to adjust it yet. I do later when the wind dies down. I get it fine-tuned better on my windaged. As you see, I hit the can there, and I said that's at 300 plus yards. Now here we are at the 3 power. Prior it was 10 power. And you saw I was shooting off to the left, or to the right, excuse me. Anyway, I'm like, what the hell? So do it again, and this one doesn't hit too bad. Here we go. And then I do it again. But all of a sudden, the bullets are hitting like everywhere out there. I'm like, what is going on? I think we're coming up on a shot here. Yeah, you see that one hit way to the right. So I actually zoomed in on it. It took me a moment to zoom in, and I'll watch this one. This one goes way off. It's like 8 feet off to the right. Well, my quick disconnect mount had loosened up on me. It didn't lock in place right, loosened up, and my scope was wobbling. So I locked it back down, and I didn't give it enough elevation, but you can see it locked it right back into place. And I hit just low the can here. So be wary of that if you're using a quick disconnect. Alright. Now, this first still shot here. This is from earlier, as you recognize, just as I shot that rock. Now at the bottom part of the screen you can see the top of the 100-yard berm. And where I'm shooting at is a 200-yard berm. Now it's bright daylight, I got the apertures on, everything down, and you can see they're both in about the same amount of focus. Everything's in fairly decent focus, especially I think I'm about 7 or 8 power here, maybe 10 power, I forget exactly what, but it's in focus, and that's 100 yards there that it's staying in focus. This next still shot, I'm back at the 3 power, but you can see the 100-yard berm to 200-yard berm and way out there to 300 plus, and they're all in focus. So daytime focusing is so much better than your nighttime focusing, obviously, because you have so much more light. Aperture can close down, depth of field opens up, really good. So anyway, that is what we're looking at here. I'm going to be going out in the desert. We're going to put another video here on in a few days as soon as I get more video shot out there with the infrared. Hopefully we get some rabbits in view, maybe knock them out. So we'll be doing that. Alright, keep watching the channel. Thank you everybody for subscribing. We're doing pretty good here for just being on the air for a few weeks now. Just keep watching. Keep watching all those videos. I got some great videos here. Yeah, I ramble on a little bit, but I think I'm imparting some pretty good information to you guys. So enjoy and have a good day. Thank you.